Today's video is a very special video to me. About 2 weeks ago, as of Friday, February 12th, Gavin Hatheway, who has been at 365 since its inception, has officially become partner and COO at 365. Gavin and I had first met after a small short film screening that I had put on in Halifax, and he'd gotten in touch afterwards and just let me know that he'd be keen to meet up and chat about getting into the video space more seriously. At that time, I was personally just beginning to get serious about starting my first production company. Until then, I had just been freelancing under the name Culligan Media, which wasn't even really public facing, until a very close friend and mentor of mine, Robert Zed, had recommended that I try to create an independent brand, something beyond myself. Honestly, I didn't even really understand what that meant at the time, but I trusted Robert, I went for it, and Gavin was the very first person to join me on that team. We got straight to work and we began working out of a small tech hub in Halifax called Volta Labs in their shared space, and Gavin was sleeping on my dirty futon in my crappy little apartment that just reeked of stale cigarettes. We learned really quickly that Gavin and I had very different personalities, him being a lot more calm, cool, and collected, and me with my kind of chaotic cowboy energy, and those differences were only accentuated when we ended up living and working together and spending almost every waking minute in each other's presence. When I think back to some of those early days, I'm reminded of some pretty hilarious first memories, like the look on Gavin's face when he saw the illegal Airbnb that I had rented for us in New York in a pretty rough part of Bed-Stuy. I think back to painting and renovating our very first office space, and I think about trying to save money by traveling to New Brunswick for a work trip and sleeping in a tent in the middle of the winter on a beach. 4 a.m. wake-ups and midnight bedtimes were the norm. We said no to absolutely nothing, and I think we almost killed each other more than once. It has been a ton of hard work. We've had to have some really hard conversations, and we've also had to make some really hard decisions. But I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for anything. Before I keep going, and I could go all day, I'm gonna pass it over to Gavin to share some of his thoughts on the journey so far and on his new position and title at 365.
It's been an incredible period of personal and professional development over the past 3.5 years. But somehow in this job with this team, there have been so many opportunities to tie together my passion with this company's purpose. Frankly, I didn't have these big aspirations growing up to be involved in a creative industry, let alone leading an incredibly talented team. They push me every day to be a better leader, friend, teammate, and individual.
Gavin's been the biggest influence when it comes to my growth as a leader and a cinematographer. The last few years with Gavin have been an absolute blast, and the best part about that is it's just the beginning. I can't think of anyone else who deserves this promotion more than G.
2 years ago, when I started at 365, I knew so little about the technologies used here, and it was Gavin who showed me the ropes and brought me from amateur to young professional. After seeing what Gavin's capable of firsthand, there's no question that this is the right role for him.
During my short time here at 365, Gavin's leadership has been instrumental in developing my skills and confidence as a young filmmaker. In my eyes, he's always been a natural leader, and I'm so excited for him to step into his new role as COO.
Gavin, I love you, brother. I wouldn't be here without you. What a ride it's been so far. And to quote you,
it's pretty awesome to look back at all the projects we've worked on, the people I've met, the places I've been, and yet there's so much time left for greatness. And now, time to go for a run.